What's up, guys? Welcome to our channel. We're Pete and Eric.
And in today's video, we're talking about weddings. Specifically, our wedding. Things we would do differently at our wedding. We got married 7 years ago. Technically, it was... No, yeah, it's 7 years ago. But our actual wedding was 6 years ago. Was it 6 years ago?
Yeah, 2018.
And we had a whole 18-month planning. And there's so many things that we didn't know, that we know now that we didn't know then, that we wish we would do differently.
Yeah.
But before we do that, we do want to share a little bit about the proposal itself. So when I decided to propose, it was like a year in when I wanted to propose. There were so many things already going on in our lives or in our personal lives individually that I feel like the time was never right. Then it was around Valentine's Day in 2017 that it wasn't on Valentine's Day exactly. It was like the weekend of Valentine's Day. I didn't really want to make it a Valentine's thing. Valentine's Day was around. So I didn't want to make it a theme, a Valentine's theme. So I just feel it's a bit of a cliche to do it that way. But I didn't want to wait any longer, and I did have hotel reservations at the beach, but I messed up. I messed up our reservations, and I accidentally booked 2 twin beds instead of a king size bed. What do I want two twin size beds for? So when I tried canceling it and changing the reservation, it completely backfired. Plus, if I wanted to plan something for the beach, our beach is about an hour away, an hour and a half away. There's no way I would have been able to do all of this with him by my side, because where was I going to leave him? At the convenience store? I hope he's surprised. I hope it's a good surprise for him. So, we'll see. Wish me luck. Anyway, see you guys later. And I decided, okay, this is it. I'm going to plan it. I'm going to propose. And, whatever happens, happens. I do wish the proposal would have been a little different. But I didn't have much guidance back then, like much knowledge, like I said, like I would have now, because I think now, since we're in the industry, as far as like weddings, quinceañeras, and all of that, we've seen so many things, we've done so many things for other people that I feel like, man, this would have been really badass for me to do for him.
Also, I think I'm thinking, being the person that's going to do the proposing, you have so many thoughts going through your head. What do you like? Different scenarios, ways to do it, whatever you want to call it, that you just get overwhelmed and kind of, unless you're set on one specific thing, it's probably a very nerve-wracking situation to be in.
There was so many things that I wanted to do. And I don't think I ever told you, but I wanted to do it at the beach. I'm not much of a beach person, but I wanted to do it at the beach because that was our first date. And then I thought about doing like this whole big thing with family, but then I wanted to keep it like intimate. And then
what if I said no?
I know. Oh my god. Yeah. So that was one of the things where I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do? And I rented a room. Also that thing, like the thing with the room, I wish I would have been like a different place. A room is, I think the room, hotel room itself, yes, I just wish it would have been like a different location. But everything was, I feel like itself was okay because I didn't get any help like for the preparation. I did everything like on my own. I lied to him that day. What did I do?
You said you were going to go to a Zumba, like, what was it, a Zumba-thon?
Like a Zumba event.
Yeah, Zumba event, there you go.
but it didn't. And he was at my apartment waiting for me. And while he was doing that, I was kind of preparing everything at the hotel, and then I called him, told him to get ready. We were going to go on like an early Valentine's date, and sure enough, like I picked him up, got him from, took him to the hotel, and then this is where I feel like, okay, this would have been so much better. I had like the little tea lights, and I had to run into the room, turn everything on, and then
you text me.
Yeah, I texted him. I had a little box. Like a wooden box with the room key in the glove compartment. I told him to open it and get it and get to the room. But looking back, I feel like the tea lights should have been like the little like battery operated ones.
The fake ones.
Yeah, the fake ones. Because I mean that would have saved me one time, two
nerves.
Definitely the nerves, and three. We caused a little tiny little fire in the hotel, like after everything happened. But it was like this small. You couldn't see it, or we were able to like cover it, where they didn't even find out that happened.
I think the metal from the tea, the wax on the little candle, like ran out by the time we were done with it and the proposal and all that, and realized that it had like. The little tin of it got so hot that it started like kind of sticking to the carpet.
That was so funny.
So we had to kind of gently peel it off and take care of it.
I don't remember exactly what I said. I don't even think he remembers exactly what I said. I just remember he said yes. We hugged and we kissed, and then we called his family.
We waited a few minutes and soaked it in.
Yeah, we obviously we embraced and all of that. Then. He called family, his best friend, and we did the whole telling the friends and family and all of that. Then the planning came immediately, like after, like maybe like a week or within the week we started planning.
I think we started talking about it like the next day.
Yeah,
maybe even that same night.
But like looking at
actually going in
that week, we started looking at venues and we saw these different venues, and we got like being a gay couple in Texas, in South Texas especially, is not
South
easy. Texas. I feel, and I may be wrong, but I feel in the area where we are, there's so much machismo and there's so much,
which is toxic masculinity.
Yeah, like they're not as open as even like 3 hours from here, which is like San Antonio, where you can like walk the streets like holding hands and all of that. And down here, like I'm gonna let you talk about like our experiences, like talking to different venues.
Like Eric mentioned, we pretty much immediately started making a guest list. We knew how many guests we needed, what type of venue we wanted, certain things yes and no, and automatically we started calling the places, going to see them. And yeah, we did get a few, not every single venue, but there were a good handful of venues that we went to, and immediately they,
shut us down.
Yeah, they kind of shut us down as soon as we walked in, and they said hi to us, all smiles, handshakes, everything, and they're like, "Which one of you's getting married?"
Y su prometida, su novia.
Where's your fiance? Or your soon-to-be wife, whatever, and we're like, no, it's us. Like we're the ones getting married. Oh my God, their face went from like a smile to like almost to the fact that they were just kind of like they just didn't want to verbalize it, but pretty much, I don't want to waste my time with you.
Yeah. Or
this is not the venue for you, or something of that nature. And there were maybe out of the good amount of venues we got that vibe from. They still showed us the thing and they were being polite and we went along with it too. But there were like one or two of them for sure that I know we got that vibe, and they kind of like gave us the little, it's okay if you want to walk out moment. So we kind of just talked to each other and, we kind of drifted off talking about something, and we made some excuse and just kind of left.
Yeah.
Like, we rather...
One of them we really liked, and I had not had it not been for that, I feel like we could have gone with that venue.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing with the talking to the cake people. One place specifically, man, the lady she completely just shut down. Like,
She was like a 180.
We're not
personality.
we're not serving you type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
We own a venue now. We own a small venue, and we hire somebody for our cakes. I would never recommend that person because of that. Like, obviously it always comes as like word of mouth, and even to my friends, even if I didn't own a venue, I would automatically say, don't go with that person because of this. And I feel like that was very unprofessional, and it's but out of everything, as far as like venues and people, feel like she was like one of the worst situations. And she was very well, as far as the vendors, that we spoke to, she was very well recommended by like other vendors and all of that. So we went to see her, and yeah, that was not it. But our venue, the one that we chose, they were spectacular. Yeah, we loved
from the get-go. They were super, super nice. And we were a little nervous. Like, once we started getting those little like kind of bad energy or vibes from certain places. We were already kind of like, man, is it going to be like this at all the places? And luckily, the place we went to was kind of at the very top of our list, but we were kind of worried because of the budget.
It was pricey.
We're like, why do you even go look there? It's going to be, it's going to be very expensive, whatever. Let's just go anyways. And I mean, if we hadn't gone there first, we probably wouldn't have wasted our time
with
anybody else.
Yeah.
I know usually they always say go check out other places before, but I mean, it was like the service, everything it included, how flexible they were with everything, and surprisingly, the price wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be.
So it just kind of added up with everything else that wasn't included. But speaking of venues, like the one thing that we would change is like our guest list, because our guests, we started at 200, and then we were going to maintain that 200 list, right? So
we're too worried about like
what if more people come or whatever. There was a lot of people on my list that I had to like scratch off, or a lot of people that I wanted to invite that I didn't invite, and I was too worried about, what if there's not enough space or whatever. The same thing with him, and now I wish I would have done it, because we are Mexican Latinos, and our culture, our people love to, we are very like, oh, you invite this person, so it's like we're inviting the whole, everybody. Our wedding was no kids besides like immediate family, which is like our sisters or like our siblings, like which is like nephews and nieces and nephews, but like everybody else is like strictly no kids. So it was already bumping out like guests, other than it was going to be all adults. But if we could have kept the list that we originally wanted, I would have done that. That's one thing that I would definitely change. Would have changed at the time.
Just invited more people.
Yeah, just invited more people.
We felt very limited and worried about giving certain invites to certain people just because
of that.
Of that. But yeah, we definitely would have invited more people for sure.
Moving on to another thing that we would do differently is, and I feel like this is the most disappointing part of our wedding, is the florals. We met with a vendor that initially was really good, like as far as communication, and we want this, we want that, blah blah blah, right? But then it was really hard to get a hold of her to, one, talk our flowers, two, like to even give her a payment, to three, to like try to set up meetings with her like before, like it was even getting closer to the wedding. We didn't want to bother her throughout because we still had like so much time before our wedding, but we did want to meet it with her at least once or twice so that we knew what type of flower was going to be in season when we got married. We got married in July. Our flowers, our main ones, were the P&Es, and we didn't even get that. We got, I don't even remember, was it hydrangeas? I think we got hydrangeas. I don't know what it was, but by the time they dropped them off, which was like at the last minute, we were already literally walking down the aisle, and our bridesmaids were already barely getting, or our groomsmates were already barely getting their bouquets. They were withering.
Yes, we stayed at a hotel, literally walking distance across the parking lot from the venue. Everybody, all the bridal party or wedding party, got there. Our family, our moms, everybody kind of took photos, getting ready and all that stuff. And we had been communicating with her or with that person to, when is it going to get dropped off? She was going to send somebody, and no joke, we were waiting and waiting. We're like, you know what, let's just leave. It's okay. We were just frustrated.
Because she did say they're already on their way.
Yeah, so we were all going down like 20 people going down the elevator. And we were in the lobby, and then we just see somebody with flowers, and we were going to ignore them on purpose because it's like, you know what, forget it. We already kind of ticked off. And the flowers weren't really necessary, but, it was just, we paid for them. We needed them there. So the person glanced at us and they asked us for our names. Okay, yes. Oh, I'm with so-and-so. Here are your flowers. They handed them all to us there. And it's like, okay, so we were pinning things and grabbing, and we just started walking off. And like Eric mentioned,
okay, so our battery died and we had to re-record a whole thing. But Peter, where were you? We're explaining how the guy had just gotten to drop off the florals at.
Yeah, they were already withering, pretty much. You could tell. You don't have to be an expert in flowers to know that some flowers are fresh and some are not. And the majority of the flowers, you looked like they had been,
I know,
sitting in
whatever
for a little while.
You can tell that they were leftovers of whatever they had now.
Unfortunately, I feel like that was the case.
It sucks because he was mostly looking forward to working with her.
So, mind you, content you see of this person's work across the board, it's impeccable. Like, what you see in Instagram photos and Pinterest and wedding magazines and all that. So I was really excited because the photographer's going to take some really good photos of, everybody with their boutonnieres and their bouquets. And I just had like this whole vision, and I was really excited to work with them. But unfortunately, that wasn't the what's it called? The end result of everything.
Yeah.
So we walked into the venue. The ceremony lasted less than 30 minutes. Eric's boutonniere was already falling apart as it was during. Wasn't there a clip where you saw a piece of it fall off during the ceremony, which was kind of crazy. We finished our vows, walked down the aisle. We started saying hi to family and friends, taking photos. Eric just kind of tossed his his boutonniere. Pretty much the same thing happened with all the rest of the guys. We all started taking our boutonnieres off. The girls, they used them for quick photos, and then they just left them on the table. But that was unfortunate. I
know. It sucks because when we first met her, she was really good at. Well, before we even hired her, she was really good at responding and all of that. But then we signed the contract. We told her what we wanted, and she was really hard to get a hold of after. To meet with her, to give a payment, to just anything. We did want to meet with her to give her specific flowers of what we wanted, to see what was going to be in season of when we were going to get married, and that wasn't really the case, which is unfortunate. But we could have just done them ourselves, because by the time that our wedding came around, we had already started doing florals, and that would have been just so much easier. We were going to cancel, but Pete really wanted to work with her, and it was just something less that we had to do for the wedding, and I was like, we'll just go ahead and keep her, and just not worry about that, rather than we stressed about the flowers when it's like we shouldn't have stressed about it, period. They should have been there in the morning. Our ceremony wasn't until 5:00, and you couldn't have the flowers there in the morning. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's not like we were asking for a lot. It was boutonnieres and bouquets, and it sucked.
And the stuff for the girls.
And and the little wands, because we did like wands for the flower girls.
We didn't even get to take pictures of them before that, so that sucks. Our next thing that we would change is the photography. Our photographer was great, and we did hire a photographer for the ceremony and the reception. The only thing I would change is hiring somebody to do the photography for the getting ready, like the beforehand or like the before. We're photographers, so we just figured we would do that ourselves, and not having to worry about the photographer or anything. I think we would do that differently, or I would definitely do that differently, because I didn't get to do pictures with my parents. We were all staying in the same hotel. We all did like the same floor. So I didn't get to take pictures with my parents, like with my mom, with my dad, like a little getting ready. Like I took little clips, or we took little pictures of like our stuff. The flat lays or the layouts of our stuff, but not how we really wanted. We took pictures with like a bridal party or like our wedding party, but that wasn't really how the experience that we wanted. We shouldn't have been working, and we kind of didn't think of that. And that's one thing that I would definitely do differently. I would just hire the photographer to like extended hours. Other than that, I feel like he did really good on it.
A lot of nice
photos,
candid photos,
which was great. Our photos for our engagement, we did do ourselves. Well, technically, my sister did them with the help of his best friend Haley, which was his groomsmaid of honor. We took a trip to Austin.
So a couple weeks before the official trip, Eric and I did like a little scouting of different locations I had seen in Austin, because we kept seeing a lot of different options. We didn't know what to do, what exactly we wanted, but it seemed like Austin was going to be the best place, because there was a few different areas all within a good amount of distance from each other. So we went to go scout it, check it out. We felt like that was a good choice, and then we got with them in scheduling a small weekend trip. We left on a Friday, came back on Sunday. So it was about 2 days or so. And it was awesome. They did a great job. My friend Haley really helped us like as an assistant, and then my sister-in-law did all the photography. So she got all the angles, all the little moments. And since I think we were both pretty OCD when it came to certain things, I knew exactly like we want these shots for sure, and anything else is extra.
Yeah.
So we made sure we got all the shots and all the locations and all the outfits that we wanted, and then anything in afterwards was just
a bonus.
The bonus, yeah.
That I wouldn't change. I would definitely keep. But the photography for the wedding, as far as extending, having somebody else working, I would definitely do that.
The next thing I think the both of us have always agreed on, we would change not to be buying our house at the same time as we were planning the wedding. It was really stressful. There was a lot of things that I feel we both agree on all the time and talk about it constantly. First world problems. We love our home. We're not ungrateful. It's just I think we were so focused on the wedding and everything going on about moving out of the apartment that we kind of overlooked a few things when we were looking at homes in general. Mm-hmm. And then when we finally settled on this house and moved in and everything, over time we kind of just started noticing minor things. But I think had we had a little bit more time, first we would have saved more money for a bigger deposit. On a different home. But overall, it was just there's just things that we overlooked.
Yeah, and I think it comes down also to having more knowledge as far as like when it comes to homes. Yeah, because as a first-time homeowner, you don't think about things that we think of now. Again, it's been 6 years since we've been here, which is like we signed 2 weeks right after like our wedding. So we got married on July 21st, and then we signed on August 8th. So it's been that long, and it was like that time span between. But throughout the process of the wedding, we were also doing the process of the house. I feel like we did rush into the house. Had we thought about it a little carefully, we would have said, you know what, let's just wait and we'll look
The time is right.
elsewhere in maybe like a year or so. We could have maybe waited a year or so. I do like our house. I love our house. I just feel like for us, and that's because we don't have kids, for us, it's not what specifically fit what we
Our needs.
what we want. It's a 4-bedroom home, 4-bedroom, 2-bath.
I know people are gonna be like, "Wow, you guys are so grateful." It's just other things.
But definitely we would wait and do that differently. It's now I see other homes and I'm like, oh my god. But the market now compared to when we bought our home is
Totally different.
completely different. It's skyrocketed. So let's say our house is in the market, like if we put it in the market, it's like twice as much as when we bought it. And it's only been 6 years. So what would we expect on another house, which of course we saw one, and it was like, I think it was like 400 or like 400,000 or something.
Almost $500,000.
Yeah, and it was like, oh my god. And
The house is gorgeous. As soon as we were walking through there, I
it's
was
like, that's what we need.
I know. And
Had
like I said, this
theater room.
first world problems, whatever. Comments down below, but yeah, definitely be wiser, more careful. Look at the fine print as far as like everything throughout the house.
And I feel like one point that if you are looking into a house is get your own inspector.
Yes.
We didn't do that because we didn't know. So we let the construction company, which is also like they're doing their own realtor, do the inspection. So I'm assuming it was somebody that they already knew, somebody that knew like the tricks and stuff, because there was, if we look at the house, it's like, oh my god, like how did this pass inspection or whatever. It may not be something so big, but as time progressed, it's more obvious than it was when we first got the house. And then one thing we did, not that we regret the wedding, because I do love the wedding. Do you regret the wedding?
No, but like I said, I think we just regret not just inviting whoever we wanted.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Other than that, I feel like one thing that we did think that we have thought about and we've talked about, constantly is having a more intimate wedding.
Because that was initially the plan.
That was the plan. Mm-hmm.
But with my big ass family,
I know people, both our sides. People will get offended if you don't invite them or whatever. But I actually was very surprised as to how many people went to our wedding, as far as like family, and I was surprised to the people that didn't go to the wedding. Mm. But yeah, I would do a more intimate wedding. Now, if we were to do like an anniversary wedding, I would keep it small. I would keep it for 100 people or less, 75, 80, like a little, party intimate. And I say that because we have a venue that's maximum capacity is for 100 guests, and we see the weddings that they have there, the quinceañeras that they have there, and it's like, oh my god, like this is all you really need. It's your immediate or your close friends and family, and you're still going to have a great time. We had an amazing time at our wedding, and I think it would be the same if we would have done it a more intimate, or even like a small dinner for like 50 people. That would have been great too.
We always talk about doing like an anniversary dinner or wedding, or renewal vows, but later on.
I think like our 10th anniversary would be good.
Well, that's already coming up.
That's why.
No, I think, well, maybe. That should be like a small, intimate dinner. Like very small. Like 50 people.
For like 300.
Maybe once you're getting the 25-year mark, then we'll throw another big anniversary.
I think for the 10, like 50, 60, 70, 100. We don't even hang out with or talk to like 100 people. So, but our families alone would be that.
With our immediate families and close friends, that'll fill up
definitely
quickly enough. few things that I think I'll mention really quickly is we didn't want it to turn into our 5-year engagement like the movie. But yeah, take your time planning your wedding. Don't feel forced to have a big wedding, and because you have to impress all these people, or because your family's telling you have to invite everybody X, Y, and Z. If you want to do something small, go for it. I recently saw a viral video. This beautiful couple had a beautiful dinner wedding, the two of them. It was in Italy, like on a cliff. They'd have beautiful arrangement of flowers, a nice dinner. Like it was so beautiful. And the title of the caption just said, "Intimate wedding for two," and it was so beautiful. And they took all these beautiful photos.
I guess we can do that.
Italy, yeah, that's our next trip. Big trip, Italy. Anyways, but yes, take your time planning your wedding. Only you two are the ones that have the main say so of everything, and just have fun when you're actually having your wedding, because we've worked as photographers and at the venue, and so many people stress about it. Whatever's going to happen that day is going to happen, no matter how much you try to control it and how much you try to prepare for it. Something wrong is going to happen. Just let it slide off. Don't stress about it. And with all that being said, guys, we hope you enjoyed this video.
And thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know if you have any tips or if you have any questions for us in the comments below. If you would do anything differently for your wedding, or
if you're planning a wedding.
Yeah, if you're planning a wedding, what do you think you would keep it the same? Are you doing an intimate wedding? Are you doing a big wedding? Did you have an intimate wedding? Did you have a big wedding?
Destination.
We want to know. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the little bell to get a notification every time we upload a new video.
And we'll catch you on the next one, guys. Thank you. Bye. Bye.